It's your boy Rich, SoCal Warehouse. We're stoked to be here. It's Monday, July 17th, 2024. And the philosophies are quite simple, guys. The philosophies are quite simple. There's a beautiful quote by this man called Warren Buffett. If you live under a rock, maybe you haven't heard of him. But he's a great investor. It's primarily in the stock markets. Underwriting businesses, etc., etc., has seen the ups and the downs of the economies of different assets, how they go up in price, how they go down. And he has one great quote that I think any investor should live by. And that is, be fearful when people are being greedy, and be greedy when people are being fearful. And today, in 2024, interest rates are high. Economy is uncertain. We're in a presidential election. People are scared. Like, they are scared to the bone, let's call it. And what I see is a perfect opportunity to implement this quote. And it's be greedy right now. What does that look like? That looks like being able to underwrite potential assets and being able to have the capital in place and being able to execute and purchase these opportunities of a lifetime is what I'm calling them right now. So if you have maybe considered an investment, I urge you to really just educate yourself on investing, and that's really the purpose of today's video. So what is a fund? Maybe you've heard of a mutual fund, the S&P 500. These are stocks, right? A bunch of companies just put into one big pool, let's call it, of an asset where people could invest and yield the return. A real estate investment fund is no different. The only thing different is that instead of a bunch of companies and stocks being offered in the fund, these are now properties that are being acquired by the fund, and they're in this pool that are yielding returns. And every property is given a different cash flow. Every property has a different exit strategy, whether it's a buy and hold. But the end objective is for anyone who invests into that fund, they know what they're investing into. It's real estate. It's in the name, real estate investment fund. And also the objective is simple, is to yield the highest return possible. And with that being said, anyone who invests into the fund could expect a return on their investment. And obviously it's contingent upon the fund manager, their strategy, and what they're investing into to determine what that return will be. But someone like myself that is also an investor and has acquired commercial real estate is certain to give some good returns to those investors, for sure. Why should somebody consider investing into a real estate fund today in 2024? Well, the reality is a lot of people do not have access to deals. Maybe you've been wanting to invest into commercial real estate or real estate in general for years, and you just haven't pulled the trigger. Why? The reality is it's probably because you don't have a book of opportunities in front of you to look at or to make a move on. And the purpose and benefit of investing into a real estate fund is that you, as a passive investor, don't have to do the legwork to go find the deal, negotiate the deal, put together all of the financing. All you have to do is have some money and some faith, really, in the investment fund manager and their strategy, and understand the strategy, really. So you have to have some poise and have some understanding of what the strategy is, so that you know what you're investing into. But in reality, the benefit is quite simple, is that all the legwork is done for you, and you just reap the benefit of the experience, of the access and resources of the fund manager and the fund itself. So me, Richard Rodriguez, has a fund. We have a real estate investment fund, and our strategy is quite simple. I'm gonna go back to the basics. Riches in the niches. Guys, go deep into whatever you're doing, and that's exactly what I have done as a fund manager here with SoCal Warehouse. And the strategy is quite simple, guys. We invest into commercial real estate, primarily industrial real estate and industrial land. And the benefit of this strategy is that we have a brokerage company, right? We broker deals. We help people buy, sell, and lease industrial real estate. So we come across deals before anyone does. We come across buyers that are looking to purchase properties. So when we have a property that we want to offload in the fund, we already have a select list of buyers and tenants that either want to lease them or buy them from us at a very good price, let's call it, that is going to yield a high return on the investment. So it's a huge competitive advantage, and the strategy is quite simple. Invest into industrial real estate and industrial land here in Southern California as we expand into other markets as well. So the type of properties that my fund invests into are cream of the pie is what I call it. Industrial real estate, so industrial warehouses and industrial land. And why this is something that I'm very passionate about is because not only do we buy these properties, we actually broker these deals. So we have clients, we work with buyers, landlords, tenants, sellers in this specific asset type that has given us some competitive advantage and some intel is what I call it, to know what's really going on in the market. So we understand what's going on in the market before we even pull the trigger on an acquisition. And it's a very conservative way to underwrite the deal alongside running all the numbers, but it's just another insurance policy, to say the least, because we have so much information on what's going on within this asset type because of how deep we've gotten into it. And these are the type of properties that we're buying. We're buying warehouses, and we're buying industrial land here across Southern California as we expand into other markets across the US. So a lot of people have a hard time finding deals. And that's one of the benefits of investing into a fund, is that you don't have to do all the legwork and go out, find a deal, cold call, knock on doors, whatever it is, how people find deals. So how we find deals is that we leverage our brokerage company. We leverage our agents. We leverage the systems that we have in place to market to sellers, and we get first dibs. We essentially get first dibs before we even put it on the market. We always try to negotiate with a potential seller to purchase the property for them within our investment criteria, and making sure that we're not overpaying for the property, and making sure there's enough spread for money to be made for our investors in the fund. So that's really how we secure properties, and it's a huge competitive advantage within the fund because we get to cherry pick the best deals before we put them onto the public market. So before you see them on LoopNet, on the MLS, on CoStar, on all these platforms online, we're getting first eyes, and we're being very selective on the properties that we want to purchase based on the criteria, the property parameters, the location. I can go on and on, but we have some really good competitive advantage in that regard on the type of properties we're buying. If you're looking to invest into real estate, be aware there is always a risk. Like literally, you could buy a great deal and the thing could burn down the next day. Nobody knows. Like there's always a risk in everything. But like the quote says, scared money don't make no money. So with that being said, there's tons of risks. One of the risks of investing into a fund is investing into a fund that has a fund manager that doesn't know what they're doing, that doesn't have a clear strategy, that doesn't have the experience. Me, myself, I have experience investing into industrial real estate, industrial land, commercial real estate. So that gives me the confidence to open up this fund to the public, to select public individuals that want to make money from their money. And with that being said, there's always a risk. Just know that the underwriting process, have a clear understanding of what the fund is investing into, what the strategy is, what the term is, what the initial investment is, what the expected yield is, on and on and on. And it's like anything else. Most people know when somebody's BS. So follow your gut, right? Is what something that I always encourage. But educate yourself as well. Go on YouTube, understand how to underwrite a deal, understand what the heck cash on cash is, understand what an IRR is, and ask questions when you're in your interview with the fund manager or the potential manager that you're looking to invest with, or the partner you're looking to invest with, and make sure that they have the wherewithal and the capacity to put deals under contract, take them to the finish line, and execute on the strategy for sure. An ideal investor for a real estate fund is someone who just wants to be a passive investor, someone that has some significant net worth, that has significant income, that wants to take advantage of all the benefits of real estate. Someone specifically that's looking to yield cash flow. My fund is a fund that is going to deliver high cash flow returns for anyone who wants to be financially free, essentially. So a lot of people have a goal to be financially free. They just don't know where to put their money. They don't know what deal, what asset to invest into. I could tell you right now, real estate historically has been a great hedge against inflation, has been a great cash flow producing asset, and it has not changed, and I do not see that changing anytime soon, especially when you're investing into a fund that has a clear strategy on how to yield these high cash on cash returns so that you can have that monthly dividend just like clockwork. They call it mailbox money, guys. So if you want some mailbox money, you're an ideal investor to invest into a real estate fund. But just be aware that there is minimum investments that are required. So make sure that you have your actual income or your savings in place so that you could invest into the fund and meet the requirements. Good deal. So yeah, that's just a rundown of real estate investment funds, guys. I'm telling you right now, we have some serious opportunities in the pipeline right now. As we speak, we have multiple deals in escrow right now that we're closing on that are going to be yielding some really good returns for not only ourselves, not only myself, but other investors as well. So if you have any questions, just reach out. Don't hesitate. When we're here in Southern California, my name is Rich, and we look forward to connecting with you.